Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode with The Anxious Resistance, and today we're going to be talking about ketamine therapy for depression. So first off, ketamine is typically known for being used as a party drug, and it's called Special K on the streets, and it has some other names and things, because you can get kind of a high, a hallucinatory effect off of a high dose of ketamine. But in the last couple decades, it's gained in popularity as a treatment for depression, and there are a lot of reasons why this is true. The first being it's quick. It acts very fast. Most antidepressants these days take 4 to 6 weeks before you even know if it works. But with ketamine, it can work within an hour and you know whether it works or not. And another reason that it's used fairly often is because it's very good for people who have treatment-resistant depression. People who have already failed treatment with other antidepressants can have a better result using something like ketamine. Typically in the past, ketamine has been used as a general anesthetic. That's why it's not a Schedule I controlled substance, and it is used medically for general anesthesia. In the last decade, ketamine has been hailed as a breakthrough therapy for depression because it is fast-acting, long-lasting, and it's indicated for suicidal ideation, which most medications are not. It can be used quickly during a suicidal episode to help someone come out of those suicidal thoughts. So what's so interesting about ketamine is that it acts on a completely different system than typical antidepressants. Typical antidepressants work on a system called the monoamine system, and this is controls neurotransmitters such as serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine, probably stuff you've heard of before. But ketamine works on a different system called the glutamate system. So because of this novel action that ketamine has, it works very differently. And that's why it can work and be so effective for people who haven't responded well to typical antidepressants. So one of the thoughts behind ketamine therapy is that the receptors known as NMDA receptors are overactivated and stimulated too much and wear out. But what ketamine does is it blocks this receptor. Another theory behind why ketamine works is it helps increase a protein called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, that helps your brain adapt and learn. And that's why ketamine not only has effects for depression, but has effects for someone who has difficulty learning. And so the applications are very broad. So there are some drawbacks to ketamine therapy, however. There are some severe side effects that can happen. Now, ketamine that's used for depression is often in a very, very much lower dose than what is used for general anesthesia. So you don't have quite the same level of effects. But some of them can include hallucinations or acute confusion. And when you have these, it's very difficult to maintain your ketamine therapy because really it's the therapy itself is what's making your life worse at that point. So a lot of pharmaceutical companies these days have been trying to research and find a medication that does what ketamine does for depression, only without the severe side effects. And there are already some on the market. There's one drug known as S-ketamine, which was developed by Johnson & Johnson, and is a nasal spray and is a sort of chemical relative to ketamine. And it has less side effects than the typical ketamine does. But companies keep trying to find the perfect antidepressant, and they keep researching it. And I talk about some of them in a video here, and I'll link it right above in the video for you. So also what's interesting is that ketamine clinics have been popping up all over the country and all over the world even. In fact, the other day I was at my own doctor's volunteer clinic in my community, and I saw this advertisement here for the local ketamine clinic. So this is really gaining in popularity, and I even know some people who do the ketamine therapy and how much this has changed their life because they failed the typical antidepressants. So listen, for those who are struggling to find a correct therapy for their depression or finding a medication that really works, ketamine may be an option for you, and you may want to look into finding one of those clinics that are near you. And for others, maybe you just need to wait until these companies that are researching how ketamine works, till you can find a good medication that's produced to have those same effects. But then again, if you're up to trying something that works similarly to ketamine, check out our video here about how magnesium helps in a similar way that ketamine does. Magnesium is something that I use, not ketamine, and it has helped me significantly because it works in a similar way, and we are often deficient in first world countries in our magnesium levels. Okay everybody, that brings us to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching today. I appreciate your support and your love of this community. And we really are trying so hard here at the Anxious Resistance to spread information, to spread inspiration, to help everybody who's struggling. So if you like this video, if you found it helpful, if you found it interesting, please subscribe to our channel where you can find more content, or check out our website, or find us on social media. And thank you again. We appreciate all that you do, and we're here to help make the world a better place.